He fought this big dude, his first fight, and he broke his hand, like hit him in the back of the head. It was crazy. I don't remember who beat him. We don't even eat that. This way?
Serious where?
I'm saying, wait, turn it right down. Yeah. You're on the wood side. There we go.
All right.
Can you give me more light?
Yes, light. Yes, that is great.
Bang.
Hey y'all. Hey, Queen Naima. Welcome, as always.
Listen,
Hey.
that would be on point.
Always on point. Naima, I told you, please email. Let me put the email address up. I gotta do this. Gotta do my due diligence. Put this email address up. Naima, let's go ahead and really connect. I mean, seriously. Seriously, come on down. Bring the fam. Make it a weekend. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Yes. We are right over in Athens, PA. Okay, that's the main. As you guys all know with that one. Then I'm going to put up the email address because hey. There we go. There's my ticker. These are called tickers. In the game, they used to be called, in the PR journalism game, they used to be called crawlers, but they're called tickers on StreamYard. So there's my ticker. All right. I'm going to do my due diligence and put up my glower. Yeah.
Who's on you and me today?
It's on you.
Really?
I had a great one yesterday about what does being black mean.
Oh, right.
It was great. You. And I think I'm off of my probation tonight too, so we might have to do TikTok after we leave here.
You want TikTok too?
Yeah, because I'm off my probation. I was there. I was cleaned up.
TikTok jail?
Yeah, I was on TikTok jail. You got to celebrate with the people.
Yeah, she was calling people names.
I was not. No, I was responding to tell it on the cookout.
Talk about some envelope.
Yeah, I did. I sent envelope in, but that's not. I was set up.
By who?
By the person that asked me, "Oh, what do you think about that Montgomery brawl?" And then the next question was about the cookout, and then that was when we were pulled. So I believe that whole thing was a setup. So remember, they came into your live asking about the Montgomery brawl too.
Yeah, but I mean, me and Mom, we used to be, saying certain things.
And I am over
TikTok,
there too.
No, you kind of a newbie.
No, I'm not. What?
To
what?
Because you polite with it.
No, but still, I still say it, and I have said it, and I've been banned a couple of times as well.
I'm saying I've learned to curb certain things. I stayed in TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Always had that warning sticker. In fact, I just had a video pulled, but where he's going?
So did I. Mm-hmm.
I ain't had to stick in a while though.
My small Sound video, which was so good. Which
Yeah, I
was
know I
so
edited
good.
that thing perfectly.
It
That, that,
was
that, that was that
such
was
a
that was that
good.
was that was some of my best work.
And then I had to just use the song for our camp out cookout. But anyway, get to your topic.
Okay, so
It's going into
I've been thinking
Friday
about
night.
this for actually a few days now. Actually, probably more than a few days. I actually did a video about it, and I never posted it though. And it's probably been about 2 weeks. Ice Cube. I like Ice Cube. I do. And I know by now everybody, pretty much knows what he said about record industry, owning private prisons and things of that nature. And he's right on a whole bunch of levels. Like he's right. And I hear a lot of the older rappers. Uh, not saying that Ice Cube is one of them, because I haven't heard him complain about the direction in which rap is going, or with the direction in which hip hop is going. I haven't heard him complain about it. He hasn't really said much about it up until the record execs or these industry dudes owning private prisons. And but I've heard a lot of them, a lot of the older rappers, basically, complain about it. But what I don't hear is their part in where this is at now, where rap is at now. Now, I'm old enough to have, you know, seen the pioneers. Some of them live, met a couple. Um, you know, bought these albums. I was there when the Bridges Over was dropped. I was there when you know Melly Mel wasn't juiced up on steroids. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I'm also young enough to know who a Chef G is. You know, to know who you know 5 year foreign is. You know, so I've been there for basically three different eras of rap, and although in the '90s, because that's when it changed. Although in the '90s it was more balanced, you had some conscious rappers, but you still had the gangster stuff. You still had to shoot 'em up, bang bang, and here it is. Ice Cube, bro, he was a member of a group called Niggas with Attitude, NWA. You, I don't think y'all were the first from over there, but y'all definitely was the most popular to speak or introduce gang life into rap. And again, I'm not saying that Ice Cube is one of them guys because me personally, I haven't heard him complain about it. I haven't actually heard him voice an opinion about the direction of which hip hop is going. So I'm not singling him out, but at one point in time, are these older rappers gonna take accountability and be like, well, nah, we started this. Because when you look back, and again, the '90s, this is my era. I listen to that stuff. Um, you know, these are the guys. I'm like, nah, these dudes today can't touch these guys from back then. I'm talking about music. But at the same time, I also know that like y'all gave birth to gangster rap. Y'all gave birth to gang. Like shit, Tupac and Suge pretty much took took the blood thing national. You know, Pop ran around with his red flag on, his bandanas, and you know, MOB. doesn't really mean money over bitches. It's not what it means. That's what it means to the commercials and to when people don't know no better. That's not what it means. Um, if you know, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and talk gang language because that's not I'm not trying to promote it. I'm not trying to push that. But at one time, at what point in time are these guys gonna take accountability? Like, listen, we gave birth to this, and because y'all was so successful at it, because y'all sold so many records, pushed so many units, because of this, now this is where we're at. Because now the record companies don't want to do nothing else but that. So there's no more of that balance. There's no more conscious anything. If you ain't talking about slaying somebody, you ain't talking murder music, it don't really get no spins. And even and it has spilled over into R&B, things of that nature. And me and Courtney had a conversation about what's done more damage. And I think it's that. I think it's the gang life. I think gang culture has pretty much invaded hip hop and, for the most part, taken it over because everybody's throwing up gang signs. Everybody's talking about spinning the block. Everybody's talking about who's the ops. Like drill music is ridiculously violent. It's it's basically gang anthems. This is what this stuff is. This is a way for them guys to disrespect each other and let the world see it. And this is what hip hop has become. But again, my thing is, at what point in time, one of these guys are going to be like, yo, we had a hand in this. The Biggies, the Tupacs, the Meths, the Reds, um, that's Meth Man, Red Man, and pretty much everybody else in between. I mean, there are certain dudes who didn't do this and were still successful, but it's far and wide. You know, like off the top, I can only really name like one guy. That's L. Um, and even L had some. He had some of that stuff in there. He got an old song called "Who Shot You." So but he was more commercial and was able to succeed with that. But for the most part, man, all these guys that's big time. He talking about putting dudes down. He talking about selling drugs. He talking about doing a whole bunch of stuff. Jay-Z. That's all he talked about. That's all he talked about. That's it. You let me know what y'all think. You got something?
Of course. So I think that okay, so first of all, I'm going to dissect this. I have to I have to make it personal. And in these personal conversations, they can get very they can get heated because we challenge ourselves. And I think in this, and we've had this conversation on a couple of occasions. Conversation on a couple of occasions. But it's I think that the conflict to me, and that's just outside looking in, and also inside looking out, is that it's hard for is dang near, it's very difficult. I was about to say dang near impossible, but it's very difficult for people to look at the damage that they have done and admit it. It is something that, and when it comes in regards to music, this is something that we have, like you said, we've had this conversation on a couple of occasions because you can say, yeah, this is not good for us as a culture, but you still enjoy that music.
I do.
So we can't.
But I said that. I said I listen to this stuff.
Right. This is what you listen to. But we saying
I don't listen to the drill no more though. I don't listen to that.
Okay. Because it's hard for me to differentiate because I've never really kind of got into the drill, so it's like hard for me to differentiate. So I guess like the most the most of that genre, not necessarily drill, but just kind of like that energy of like ops and all of that has been NBA Youngboy when it comes to me. Like, Lil Wayne did a lot of that too. Lil Wayne stayed talking about who could get shot, who could get it. and definitely Lil Wayne is absolutely my top 5 of our life. Absolutely. But I think that the honesty starts with us, like personally, and with saying, hey, to say to these guys, hey, or to make a real stance or a real position, and to make it to make a heartfelt kind of connection for them. I think it's easier if we lead by example. It's hard to do that if we're still enjoying the same type of stuff. It's just like, people, it's hard to take like I remember there was like a whole movement after this whole just say no foolishness, and there were a lot of there was a movement in a lot of our communities that they would take people that were formerly on drugs to be counselors or to be to lead these conversations about recovery. But then, a lot of these people that were leading these conversations were getting involved with the people that were in the groups, and they would be, it wouldn't be but a matter of time before a lot of these people leading these recovery efforts or put into position to lead these recovery efforts were actually still partaking in the use of substance abuse. And so, and this was, I like I said, it was very funny. Okay, so when I was in college, so I had to be diagnosed as insomnia to get out of taking this particular math class because I couldn't sleep. I had to be diagnosed.
Was it real or you were just faking jacks?
No, I was not faking jacks, but I knew that I was crashing in the mornings. I would stay up all night and I would crash in the mornings. And the only math class of this particular class that I needed to go to have the credits to satisfy being a junior going on to a sophomore. A freshman going on to being a sophomore. Where no, I was not going to rewrite. But no, I was still having to take this course over and over again. I took it twice. I took freshman algebra 4 times. But and it was only after the 3rd time of me not having a passing grade that I had to get diagnosed because I took it 4 semesters, but I took it like before I was able to get diagnosed. Anyway, it was the only class that they had that would satisfy that credit was in the morning. And I was like, there's no way I can like make this class this early. It was just too early. And it was math. And math is not one of my stronger suits, but math at the same time has got to be something I'm all the way kind of zoned in for. I can't be taking this groggy. I can't be taking this, just like not without my full wit. So I had to get diagnosed. So I had to go through a couple of groups. And one of the groups, interestingly enough, was, and I don't know why, I guess because, counselors, like I said, we had several groups that we could choose from. And but one of the groups offered for insomnia was like, and I wasn't even having sex at this time. I was still had my B card, but it was I guess it was some type of young adult sex or something, like addiction. It was like that sort of thing.
Sex addiction.
But it was like young adults. It was something because we had some people from churches there. We had some people from college. Not everybody there was like from like
No, you gotta go
college. But he was just
No,
he was trying to catch something.
He was trying to catch nothing.
He was trying to catch a bug. Yeah. At any rate, so in this particular course, he didn't understand.
Well, you understand now?
He didn't understand. But y'all, somebody is being a bouncer as usual, being security, throwing my cat off of the deck. Y'all put free Oz up in the chat if y'all are riding with Oz, because Oz was just minding his sweet business. He really was.
Scratching the screen.
He was trying to get a bug.
He wasn't trying to get no bug.
You know he was. You know he was.
Call me out, get the bug.
How he gonna call you? How he gonna call you?
You better learn how to speak human. I know how to speak
At any rate, you do not. At any rate, so in this particular course, there were people that, like I said, there were just all different types of walks, but everybody was like young adults, and it was it's sex ed. That's what it was. It was not sex addition, but sex ed, not sex addition. It was sex ed, and of course, but people that stayed up all night, you know, this was something that I guess it was some type of way it was related. You know, they stayed up all night, they watching porn, just like different things were making them stay up all night. And so at the end of the course, y'all, this was the kicker. You had to take a HIV test at the end of the course. Like, you know, like you couldn't get your certificate like of completion until you took this HIV test. And it was just when we talk about faking jacks and really being able to be accountable, it was so many people that didn't show up to take that STD test.
Really?
That HIV test. They ain't show up. Now this whole time we sitting around.
That might have just been fear.
It was fear. But it was fear also being accountable. This is what I'm saying. Like, because we could sit around and, you know, like I said, there were people from churches and they passing Bible verses, and you know, there were people that were talking about, you know, what they were doing when they were so out there, and you know, it was just a lot that was being discussed. And y'all can imagine me, because like I said, I was still a virgin, still a V card, but you know, I just, I guess it's not pride in myself, but always, you know, I'm very graphic with my transgressions, but I wasn't having sex at that point in time. So, you know, they looking at me like, these are like, there's no way you still a virgin. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, like I have stuff to share too. But when it came time for that test, like, I think maybe at most we had about 30 people in this group at one point in time, you know, at any point in time. And of course we met, you know, some weeks it was all people, some weeks it wasn't. But when it was time to take that test on our last one, I think 8 people showed up.
Out of 30?
Out of 30, 8 people. And wow. This is where the rubber meets the road. And this is why I'm saying this is where the proof is in the pudding. That's why, you know, what Usher said still rings true. And even though I do not like how he handled Tamika in their divorce, I always say, I'm always gonna say that. And come on. That's all that lady have is her children. Come on, you know, she's a mother. Don't be trying to get that lady babies. But and I loved Usher, but I didn't like it. But what he said is true. You don't say you're sorry until you're ready to stop the act. And I don't think, for just in layers, for one, we cannot challenge or call on these artists to be accountable when we are still, in fact, enjoying the music that we're asking them to be accountable for, you know. And then secondly, we have to take that into consideration with them, that they may not be willing to say, hey, I'm sorry for all of this, you know, type of music that ushered in this, when in fact, it's a big mob. In fact, they're not. Yeah, when in fact they aren't sorry. They are not sorry. They are they're not sorry. You know, I was asked when I was in Miami, I used to do like little public relation duties for someone who was an investor in my youth group. and he was not mobile. So when Luke was coming out with his book, he asked me to go and get a copy signed because he had grown up with the bass era. He loved it. White guy, older white guy. And he asked me to go get the copy signed. And I was like, that was hard for me to do because Luke is not an artist that I respect necessarily.
Uncle Luke?
Yeah, it was Uncle Luke. And he literally said, and make sure that he signs it, Uncle Luke. And I was like, you know how weird that made me feel to be asking? It was weird. It was awkward. But I made sure he signed the book first. But then I said, Luke, when are you going to be accountable for the generation of women that you encourage to be promiscuous and the generation of men that you encourage to be to take advantage of that promiscuity? And he looked at me, he closed that book and handed me that book. Like, bitch, if you just don't get out of my face and get on, it was no argument, but it was the look. And I knew it was just like, because he wasn't sorry. So he was not going to say, yeah, I'm sorry I did that. Even with the divorces, even with the problems with his wife, he was not going to say that because, sometimes that accountability is too much. And so not always, but I often think of that particular incident with Luke, as well as that incident all the way back in college, where, like I said, people can sit around and talk about it. We can talk about how bad this stuff is, but when it came time for rubber meets the road, and it was time for that test, they're not ready. They're not ready to do that. So,
but this is my thing, Keith. So they're not ready to do that. But my thing is like, but they don't.
I didn't have HIV, by the way.
I would use a virgin if you had HIV. Then
you could still get HIV and be a virgin.
Yeah, blood transfusion.
Nah, you could get it from you get it from activities. I didn't have it though, y'all.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I didn't.
But what I'm saying is like, all right, I'm not even asking for you to apologize. What I'm saying is
acknowledging it.
Yeah, like if you gonna sit around and be like, yo, this is some bull, they don't do this is all they do, da 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 da, they going hip hop, this, that, and the other. But bro, like if you're gonna do that, then let's talk about your part.
Yeah.
Like, speak on your part. I'm not asking y'all to apologize. I'm not even asking y'all to acknowledge the shit. But if you're gonna speak on it,
acknowledging is speaking on it though.
No, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying, if you're gonna complain and you're gonna talk about this newer generation and what they're doing to hip hop, then own up to your part. That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking you to be like, I did this, I did that. But if you're gonna say something about what's going on today within hip hop, then you got to talk about your part. You know what I mean? You got to talk about how all them albums you put out, all them songs that you put out, all the millions of dollars that you made off of preaching Black death and Black genocide. Yeah, you talk about that. Like, yeah, this is what we did. This is how don't talk about how they messing up hip hop when, bro, y'all gave birth to this shit. This is the natural, and because y'all was so good at it, because y'all made so much money for the powers that be with it, this is why this is all they push. This is why, well, there's other things too, but this is why they do that. So come on, don't complain, don't bitch and moan, unless you go on to your part.
See, yeah, this is why I still keep saying I think that we do need to be, because they say iron sharpens iron, right? And we do need to be challenging of the culture and progressing, and we do need to be reflective, and we do need to be absolutely we need to be direct, and it needs to hurt. That's why, again, and another time too, I remember I call myself calling out people, whether they see it or not. I call out people on a consistent basis. When Neo, years back was on, I think it was Twitter, it might have been IG, but he was talking about pimps and and I said, at this point in time, I think he had just had the two children with Monietta, or did they have two or three? At any rate, he had more daughters than he had sons at this point in time. Um, but I said, why would you be using this term so freely when you don't want your daughter to know one nor your son to become one? Stop this whole pimps and pimping. That's not cute. That's not cute. Same thing with Two Chains. He had a line in, I believe, Mercy. He said he riding around, he got a baby mama, a girlfriend, and his girlfriend got a girlfriend or something like that. And I said, which one you want your daughter to be? Which one you want your daughter to be? Baby mama, girlfriend, girlfriend. Stop. Like, let's just we gotta really challenge these people of influence, because as much as we like to pretend, as much as we like to say, oh, parents control, and I'm not shifting the assignment or the responsibility to someone else. I definitely try to control, what is listened to and what's consumed in my household, But at the same time, I know that my children are going to be influenced by, my son listens to a lot of music that I have no idea, Some of it I catch, some of it some of it, a very small percentage of it I catch. But a lot of it, these guys are not anything that I would, I wouldn't know these guys if I walk past them on the street. I don't know their music. I just think of them as, I don't think their music is good. And it's interesting because I do think um because I think of it as not being anything to contribute to the culture. So it's hard for me to actually have strong conversations about it. But I do think there needs to be some responsibility in anything that's going to be consumed. And I've shouted down authors. I've literally called up bookstores and had authors book signings get moved up to when children are going to be in school. Because I'm like, how dare you try to make this for when kids get out of school, knowing that this is they may be reading it, but don't make it available. Don't make your stuff available for them to read it. Like, even if they already grabbing it. So how dare you? I've called radio stations about getting certain songs pulled. Ushers, I don't mind. I thought that was just so ridiculous. I don't mind if you work on a pole. Yes, you do. You weren't married to no stripper, Usher. You mind. You mind. You got married to a whole 50-year-old plus woman, after your divorce from Tamika, So she wasn't you didn't grab her off no pole. So, there's something that this is something that we need to be more absolutely aggressive on before we can ask, or before we can demand other people to. Okay, so Naima says, do y'all think rappers are a person that someone looks up to, should be a role model to the younger generation? I do think there's responsibility. Anybody that's going to be consuming your product, your image, I do think there is a responsibility. I remember when that whole commercial came out by Charles Barkley, and I am not a role model. And and I felt why you didn't get the championship. Congratulations, not a role model. Because no, I think that does become a part of it, because who much is given, much is required. So certain people took that seriously, and you're gonna live a certain way. He might have said, but again, like I said, he played that role. He may not, you may not know him personally to be one, but he played that role. The role that they wanted him to be as a family man, as a this, that, he played that role. He played that role, and he accepted the fact that he was supposed to be a role model. He accepted that. He walked in it, and he parlayed it into a Space Jam, but he accepted that. And I remember also too, Rihanna saying the same thing. And every time when I hear somebody saying that, that they don't want to be a role model, they shouldn't be your child's role model. I think Cardi B was going around saying the same thing. I think that this is a cop out. This is a cop out because if that's the case, make it so that children can't buy your stuff. If that's the case, make it so that children can't come to your shows. There's much that these celebrities can do, especially these performers, to make sure that their music does not reach a certain age audience. And when it comes to that, they will not do it. They will not do it because that will stop dollars. And they know that the young are the most they're the most influential. They're the easiest to influence. And so easiest to influence means that they're gonna part with their money. They're gonna part with their money.
Not only that, but if you give them when they're young,
right,
now it becomes nostalgia. I mean, I still listen to KRS-One.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to KRS-One stuff with teenagers.
Right.
Same thing with a lot of them guys. I mean, like I said earlier, I had a guy tell me that I dress
Josie, we are all role models. It don't matter. They have to look forward to somebody. Josie, how are you? Josie, you need to come on out. You need to come on out. Josie is okay.
Yeah, like I had a guy tell me I dress like a '90s rapper. Wow. When you get them early, it becomes nostalgic, and you always remember it being better than what it really was. So yes, this is why you want them early. Now you got like with the cigarette company, you get them early, you got a customer for life. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. But I don't know if it definitely is a cop out. But I don't think a lot of these. I don't think they're bright. To be honest with you, I don't think they're smart. Especially when you come to like the Cardi B's.
No, their teams are, and I love how what Boyce said. Cardi B, there's no way she walks into a bank and talks the same way she talks when she's talking about.
I don't think she walks in the bank though.
She does. They'll walk in and pick up that money the same way Ryan Coogler walked in to pick up that money. They'll walk in and pick that money up.
That's tough too.
Yeah, they're walking in the banks.
But
they're walking in the doctor's offices.
Yeah, but my thing is like I don't think you may not want to be a role model, but you are.
Well, Josie is a great example because he is an R&B artist. Great music, guys. Please make sure you check out his channel and make sure you check out his latest project. Follow him on IG. If you want to drop your tags, Josie, go ahead. But Josie is a great R&B artist and just, amazing vocals and that old school R&B too. A little bit of like that Sam Cookish, feel to him. An amazing person as well. Father, hats off to you, Josie. So I do think that is the responsibility, and I think that it's an honesty that's needed. That we do not we pick and choose who we expect that from. Once again, like I said, should I be listening to? And I was just sharing some lyrics with my son earlier tonight, Lil Wayne, because he was asking about some of my favorite Lil Wayne songs, and I was like, "What?" Like, he was like, "Mom, you don't even." He said, "You don't even like Lil Wayne songs. You don't name them in your top 10." I said, "What are you talking about?" Of course, I have a couple of Lil Wayne songs in my top 10. I don't listen to Lil Wayne like that because, of course, like I said, Lil Wayne spends a lot of his music talking in some very derogatory things, and but just very skilled with his wordplay. But I named a couple of songs, and when I named them, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I remember it. Like you used to listen to that," because when I was working out heavily, Lil Wayne I had a whole playlist. That was all that there was. Running, calisthenics at the house, just whatever I was doing. It was gonna be a lot of Lil Wayne playing. And he was like, "Yeah, I do remember that, but you know, you don't listen anymore." And I think, and I know that is because as my children have gotten older, I have also gotten a whole lot more conscious of what they're, what they're taking in. And I remember when Cardi B broke, she and Megan Thee Stallion with that song "Walk," and I remember just seeing so many moms and daughters dancing off of this crap. And I just, I was just, there's no way, First of all, my daughter doesn't get down with dancing like that, but I couldn't have imagined even, putting this on and we both twerking and going for it. Like there's no way. There's no way. And I can't imagine this because me and my mom couldn't have done that. There's no way me and my mom could have ever been about shaking some rumps to some music. And the lyrics, no. And like I said, my parents were always very, very conscious about what type of music was being played in the household. I remember, my dad getting into an argument with my oldest sister, um, off of actually a Luke song that she had been enjoying, not knowing that he was home. And he went in there and just grabbed up the whole stereo and picked it up and was bringing it out the room, and she tried to grab it from him, and it wasn't cute. It wasn't a great memory. But I remember, my dad being just that adamant. This is what you trying to sneak and play. You don't get to play nothing. And so, instead of having the quiet storm for sleeping for a couple of months, it was just nothing but listening to the outside. But when she got that back, I never heard her play it again. Uh-huh. Me so horny.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so great topic, but I do think it does take more of us to be consistent and to be just as committed to that accountability. And if we aren't, then we can't expect we not that we can't expect, we can do whatever we want, but we should not expect that type of acknowledgement, awareness, accountability, because we know in our own personal lives sometimes we don't want to be that. Most of the time we don't want to be that. I read something a couple not even wasn't that long ago, it was like a couple months ago, and it said that people really don't want to change. They just want to be comfortable where they are. They want to be comfortable in with their experiences, whatever it is. That's what they want to be. That's most people. I'm gonna be honest. I've gotten more comfortable with changing. Definitely, like the last like 20 years, I've gotten more comfortable with changing. I'm not saying that's always easy, but I've gotten more comfortable with the idea of it. That okay, all right. I have I haven't had it all right, but like my mom said, I haven't had it all wrong either. Um. So yeah, I think it's a great topic and also very worth topic right now, especially with what Dr. Umar, proposed the other day, which is that if we're gonna be so committed and accepting and um, uh, we're going to be so challenging of the hip hop community to erase or to do better when it comes to misogynistic and promiscuous and anti LGBTQ lyrics, then we should be just as committed to eradicating gangsta music from hip hop, because that has done, as he said, is literally Devon has been saying for months, it has done way more damage than what we want to what we appreciate nor what we want to recognize when it comes to the destruction of our young boys, when it comes to dividing up uh, our black families, it's been way more detrimental than what we care to realize. So, mm,
You remember the story I told you about? Man, from up the block after Onyx came out with 30 guns.
yeah. Yeah,
Craziness.
yeah.
Craziness. He was going to jail behind that shit.
But see, that's what I said too. I keep saying I think it just depends on where you are because see, I didn't catch that side of it. I caught more of the side of people that did the you know
I mean, but like okay,
they were into the
the violent
salacious
part,
activities.
yeah, but like the drug dealing,
Yeah,
like a lot of
that's
this stuff,
true.
we got our blueprint from some of these things, like some of these lyrics. Got
Yeah,
our blueprint from, and let's not be mistaken here. Like we saw, the big time drug dealers that was making that bread come through the block with big body bends or whatever was the high card, you know, that particular summer or during that time. We watching them, they watching the rappers.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? The big chains. Like in the '80s, it was the big chains. You know what I'm saying? And then as it progressed, went from chains to cars. These things, it elevated. But like I said, when we was coming up, we watching them, they watching, the rappers, and it was, it's a domino effect. And I was never one of them dudes who was gonna stand on the corner. I was a ski mask, and, that kind of crazy shit, big boy stuff. And MOP, Onyx, all them stick up songs. Yeah, these was we didn't have a playlist back then. But these was this the stuff that we put in the tape. That these was our theme songs. If you was running around sticking kids up, you just stick up kid. These are your theme songs. Andy up. I was a little older when that came out, but I was already like knee deep. But Onyx, I was still relatively young when I hit. It was I'm trying to think. I was still in school. I might have been out of school. I'm not sure, but I was still relatively young when that came out. Um, like even with NWA when it came out, you know, and as much as I love KRS One, they say he's like the godfather of gangster rap because that first album, my 9mm goes bang. You know, if I really wanted to battle, I would pull out a nine. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that we listen to, and we went out and we emulated this bullshit. You know, and the sad thing is, I still listen to this stuff. I still listen to this stuff. I mean, I'm old enough to know now that this was some bullshit, but you know, I still listen to it. It's something that I don't want to say struggle the right word.
yeah. I think it
Okay,
would be.
well, something that I struggle with. This is I did go for a little while without listening to it, and then I came to I realized like, damn, you take away my '90s rap, man. I'm listening to a bunch of goddamn love songs. Like I'm really listening to like Jodeci and like this is and after a while I'm like, I can't keep listening to this this breakup music and but again, this is this is where we at though. And again, like I said, man, I'm not telling these dudes that they need to be apologized. Like I mean, like I don't. I'm not saying apologize. What I'm saying is like if you gonna speak on these things, then speak your part. Speak your part. Tell what you did. You know, tell what you did. Because this is the what we're seeing now is I just call it the natural evolution of hip hop. You know, because if you go back to the '80s was the bragging rap. You know, my lyrics is better than yours. And then like I said, KRS One is considered like the godfather of gangster rap. They saying that that first album was like the first gangster album. It wasn't though. But then you know his DJ got killed. Scott LaRock. LaRock died. Got stabbed trying to break a fight. And his that changed his outlook. So it was no longer my 9 millimeter goes bang. It was it turned into self destruction. You know he became the teacher. But a lot of these guys didn't have a Scott LaRock. So they just kept going on that same path. And so we went from bragging rap to gangster rap to drill, which is nothing more than murder rap. So it is, you know. But it's the natural evolution of hip hop. And if somebody just doesn't say, that's it, no more, it's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. And then like these older rappers, they're gonna complain. And at this point, if you're not speaking your part, bro, you just a whole ass hater. You just mad. You just mad because you can't get the bag no more. You know, this is why you got guys like Melly Mel doing what he doing. You just a whole ass hater, bro. Although, yeah, I don't mind him getting at him. I mean, shit is whack. Shit outdated. But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, that's what these dudes sound like. They just sound like they just old ass haters at this point. If you ain't gonna one come up with a solution, two tell how you influence these dudes, because all of these dudes is either influenced by Pop, Big, 50, all these dudes. You know, all the big heavy hitters in the game. This is who they influenced by. And the fact they influenced by these dudes and this stuff that they put out, how can you complain? How can you complain? Don't speak about the direction of hip hop and complain about it. You ain't gonna talk about what you did. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. Well, we only have a few minutes left in this broadcast. No, it's me and Niani going back and forth. Oh, Iron is in. Yes, common sense. Iron, welcome, welcome. Missed you there with going back and forth with my daughter. My daughter, big shout out to my daughter, treated us to the movies today. Yes. And I also got a nice perfume. Yes, my daughter knows I am just addicted to the smell goods. And I said, hey, can't let this time go by to go buy Bath and Body Works without a little something. And so I got a nice little fragrance. Yes, that I'm loving. Iron is talking to Naima. Okay, so yeah, so remember you all, tomorrow is Friday. So we are excited to we are excited to try to go on a little earlier, So yeah, because y'all want to do what y'all want to do with y'all nights. We gonna leave that up to y'all. I did want to do a date night recap real fast. We ended up watching Nappily Ever After. And I'm not really too big on movies, y'all, but I really like Sanaa Lathan. And so I had been wanting to see the cinematic interpretation of the novel for a little bit since it came out. Since I found out that she was, playing the lead role for Nappily Ever After. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to check it
Wait,
out.
is she she's using your account?
Yeah, she uses my email. Yeah, she uses
Because
my
it
email.
just looks like you just talking to
It
yourself.
looks myself. That's what I told her. It looks like I'm crazy and just talking to
It's weird.
myself. Yeah, because sometimes when I'm on here, I don't know why. Sometimes they'll say, you know, um, it'll have Omega Courtney and it'll have the Google account. But sometimes
And Common
it'll be here.
wasn't against the rapper, but Common is kind of anyway. Again, that's a different conversation, different time. But
Yeah.
he wasn't against the rapper. He was one of the fake conscious rappers though, because there was a bunch of them dudes running around. You know what I mean? They had like what you call them, the African medallions, and you know, a lot of them dudes, fake gods. But they fell by the wayside though once they started getting checked by real guys. Talking about the 5%ers. That happened quite often in New York, quite often. Like they come out with these songs, and talking that mathematics, then a couple of heavy hitters came like, yo, these guys, these mathematics, they stumbled, they get stumbled on.
Oh, he was talking about his seminal hit, "I Used to Love Her." Ooh. Yeah. Common Sense, the disc that he made, and Ice Cube. The Ice Cube and him went back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to love her. Talking about how hip hop used to be, but her was hip hop, and he was saying how West Coast made how they and how it fell away to mess. He was saying what happened when he got West Coast applied.
Yeah, got gang This what it was.
Yeah.
And Cuban was the first, and this thing that get me though. Right, these dudes would be they try to justify what they were saying or what the shit they was putting out to my we just talking about what's going on in our hood. We just talking about what's going on. Bro, there's other things going on. Like everybody, motherfuckers ain't dying every day, bro. There's not shootouts every day. So stop. You motherfuckers did not grow up in Beirut. Cut it out. Stop the bull. Because it's BS. Yeah, y'all had gangs. Yeah, the jokes was done. But come on, man. Stop, man. Stop. And this is how they justify it, saying we're just saying what we see every day in our hood. Come on, bro. So I guess y'all never had cookouts in your hood. Ain't nobody throw the grill up there. Now,
Ice Cube he talked about it today. It was a good day.
It was a good day.
He said nobody died the day nobody had to pull out the what? Right. The AK.
But you know what? Yeah. Ice Cube got what? 8 albums? 9 albums? Yeah. Today was a good day. That's one song.
Yeah. But such a good song.
It's like I had a white boy tell me that's the greatest rap song ever made. I said, boys, you crazy?
That's sad. You know what? Let me tell you, when it comes to that, right? Y'all, I like, other music. What's the topic? Well, we kind of are on the end of it now. We're coming up on an hour. But the other day, like I really tried to vibe to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem, and I used to love this song. Like love it, and I couldn't even get into it. Like I'm just like I'm so kind of over it. God.
Peace.
Yeah. So the topic was it was introduced by hubby tonight because y'all know we rotate, we trade off with the topics, and he was talking about Ice Cube, and not necessarily saying that he had not because Ice Cube has, and I think you're absolutely right with your assessment of that. Ice Cube hasn't really. He hasn't really come out to attack.
I've never heard him say
the way music sounds now.
Yeah,
that hasn't really been him. But just saying that there's a lack of accountability with gangsta rappers for having any type of influence of the way rap music has transitioned, the way it is now with drill, the way it has evolved, so to speak. And so, I was basically applying my take on it because, again, as y'all know, as anyone knows that follows my channel has followed me, I don't do things hypothetically. I take them onto a personal level, and I'm just saying I think that personally, people have a hard time with having that awareness, that accountability. They're not ready for that, and so if we can't do it in our own day-to-day life, don't expect these celebrities to be able to do it. They're just not. They're not ready for that. Are they want to move forward without ever addressing that? A lot of people, like my mom's always said, you can't clean shit if you don't touch it. A lot of people just want to flush, and that is cleaning the toilet. They don't want to get those rims. They don't those rings around. They don't want to touch that. Me, Courtney, I never minded touching it because I felt like that was the quickest way to get back to doing what I was doing. Playing with Barbies, watching Star Search. I used to love Star Search. I was Star Search. Yeah, I did like white rappers. I did growing up. I did. I'm not gonna lie about this. I like the white rappers that were there. I like Vanilla Ice. I thought, while he was, of course, I thought he was cute, and I thought, could dance, had great stage presence and all that good stuff. There weren't a lot,
who's playing that crap though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like now, I don't. It's not like I.
No, I mean even then, who was playing Vanilla Ice though?
It was played at our dances.
But
no, we had dances, and it was played at our school dances. All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with random inventions, something. Rather hopefully tightly flow like a heartbeat daily and nightly. Fill it up, stop, yo. I don't know. Turn off the lights, and I glow to the extreme. I like a candle, light up the stage, and watch the chump like a candle. Dance.
If you don't stop, I'm
Beastie Boys. I definitely Beastie Boys were not. Beastie Boys seemed dirty. That was the only thing I had about Beastie Boys.
You know what? Let me tell you
like something. They were cute, but they just seemed dirty.
Let me tell you something about Beastie Boys.
And Eminem, I always knew I could never invite him to my house for nothing. So I was just like
Eminem is another one. Who's playing that shit?
Too short.
Who's playing that though?
Eminem was just too short.
Yo, I have never ever heard anybody riding through pumping M. I've never heard it.
I've heard Touchdown a couple of I've
never heard it.
Renegade got spin.
That's a Jay-Z song.
Especially in Philly.
It's a Jay-Z song. It's a Jay-Z song that he's on.
I'm a renegade.
But it's a Jay-Z song that he's on. I've never heard an M song being pumped. I've never heard it. Now, the Beastie Boys, let me tell you something about the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys, even though they
all...
What?
Iron gets me. He said Beastie Boys always love their shower. Same to me. Third base was the MC, the one that had the cane, MC Search. He was just always too big. I wasn't really into that.
Yeah, no, he's white rappers.
But yeah, third base I was very aware of, and I thought it was kind of cute. And I remember when Snow came out, the one like boom boom down, they were trendy, they were popular, they were was pushed, and I was like, my mid-teens. But as I've gotten older, and like I said, I used to love when I tell you I used to run to Lose Yourself. And now it's like, nah, yeah, I used to run to Lose Yourself. I've lost a couple of earphones off of Lose Yourself. Snow from Canada, I know, with the Jamaican flow. But Paul Wall, I never was into, and that's funny. That's funny because I used to book shows, and I was just like, I could not understand why people was willing to pay this much money. And Bubba Sparks was another one. That Miss New Booty, always, you can miss me. I have a thing about not liking artists that I wouldn't.
I mean, outside of these dudes' cities, like who's playing this stuff? Like third base.
Miss New Booty got a lot of play because I was up in Philly with that hit.
Where?
The radio stations played Miss New Booty. I found
forget
that
radio station. Forget that shit.
You can't forget that. Especially if you're talking about somebody that was into music, a booking agent, journalist. You can't dismiss that. Like you can dismiss it personally, But you can't just be like, oh, forget that. Like,
nah, because that could be manipulated. You know that.
But it still is influence. So it still is an influence. It does not matter if it can be manipulated. It still is an influence.
You pop in your tape, your CD, your iPod, whatever your playlist. Who's bumping that shit down the road? Who's coming through? Who's spinning the block playing this crap? Ain't nobody playing that shit.
The guy said you love playing Machine Gun Kelly.
First of all, he must be talking to you.
He said your hubby loves playing Machine Gun Kelly. Let me tell you
something, man. I bleed hip hop, bro. Bleed it. These dudes would never, ever, 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 ever get any spin.
No.
On nothing I'm playing. Nothing.
I can't even name you one Machine Gun Kelly song besides what he did on the movie Beyond the Lights with Nate Parker and the name of the wife
from Machine Gun Kelly
was the diss song
to M.
What was that called? Demigod?
I don't.
Rap God. Yeah, Rap God.
No, M was Rap God, and then I don't know. I thought the video was funny. He's sitting there eating bullshit. I thought she was hilarious. I mean,
I haven't seen the video. Yeah. I still wouldn't know that song.
And then I didn't even know there was a diss track. I'm not looking for no Machine Gun Kelly. I'm not looking for M. I'm not looking for any of these dudes. Somebody bring it to me like, yo, boss, you gotta check this out. And I watched it. But other than that, man, these dudes, they would never, ever, 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 ever. I'd give up my hip hop card if I ever did it.
Was What It's Like, right? Everlast? Yeah. Everlasting. I think Iron said Danny. Oh, Naima says I'm a big Nas fan. Me too.
Big who?
Nas fan. Me too. That's my number one. My number one rapper. Absolutely. And then I have some debatables in my top 10, but top 5 definitely. We solid over here. Jump Around was hot, but these are just like singles. Like I said, these are songs that like in my adult life, they don't get a turn.
Let me see.
Andre 3000 is not white rapper. So what you talking? You just saying great rappers at this point? Yeah, Andre 3000 is in my top 5. He's in my top 5 for sure.
I mean, who? Nah, Jokes actually played third base though. Back, way back.
Mm-hmm.
But you talking like 80, like because they was what third base was a what do you call it? At that time it was a rarity, like very, 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 very rare. Yeah. I think the only other white rappers back then was probably the Beastie Boys.
No, I don't mess with Ludacris. I don't care. Let me not say I don't care. I understand and appreciate his. I
don't know what that was, but that was fast.
Look at that, baby.
How was that?
What's that, babe? It looks like a mini crab. Y'all, so it's these Athens.
No, I just seen something over there and he was mad fast. Just went up underneath my tool bag. But I don't know what that is.
That is the longest antennas I've ever seen on anything ever.
We gonna spray them?
No, I would like to see what it is.
We see what it is in the morning after you die and fall down over there.
No. At any rate, y'all, like I said, Ludacris, I can appreciate all of what he's accomplished. Because I do think
fast.
Because I think that Ludacris literally had a plan, and the way he has utilized rap to, move the way he has moved is worthy of study. It's worthy of studying. I don't know how duplicated.
He was a DJ, right?
He was a DJ, yeah, DJ, and he was like, "This is the quickest path to stardom, to celebrity, to fortune and fame," and this was the way he categorized doing it. And because he considered being a comedian, he considered acting first, but he was like, "Nah, this is the easiest way to get to there," and he worked it, and he didn't abandon his plan. and made some good money with Ludacris. Or Ludacris, me neither. With Ludacris's camp, on a couple of dates, had a very cool manager and a manager that would do what he said he was going to do. So I can appreciate that. But yeah, as far as like Ludacris's raps, they just never really. I just, when we talk about what gangster music did, I think about that with the whole strip culture and the strip music and the promiscuous music. And I was really done with Ludacris with the I got different holes in different areas holes. Like that's I've never appreciated that from artists. I just never appreciated that. I've always just thought that it's just we don't play those type of games when it comes to our sexual morality. I didn't like playing those type of games, Um I did like Uchi Wally though, I ain't gonna lie. Uchi Wally was a banger. Uchi Wally almost got me in trouble with my dance team. Philly. They almost had me convinced. They almost had me convinced to just do just the instrumental, Miss Courtney. Like, you know what? Yeah. They almost had me. They almost had me. They almost had me.
What song?
Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang. That thing used to go. You really hurt my body. You really made me shout. You really. Naima, where you at? Where you at? Because Nas put it down. I don't know. I thought that was a Beatle.
I know he fast.
God said your favorite rapper is Coogee Rap. Iron said that song was a mess. It was not. Uchi Wally went. Like I said, it almost made me get in trouble.
He was too fast to live
as a teacher. That sounds horrible. As a dance teacher, I was just gonna let it go for just the instrumental. But and actually, it was a good thing. My ex-husband actually was the one who talked me out of that. He was just like, no, because too many girls are just gonna sing it. They're gonna sing the parts. Too many girls know the parts. So when it comes on, they're gonna be singing the parts, and the teacher's gonna be there in the audience, like, it's not gonna matter that it's just instrumental. So why is your favorite rapper Little Kim? She degraded brothers sexually. My favorite rapper is not Little Kim. Who are you talking to, guy? That has never been mine. Oh, Iron said that song was banging at UMass. Yeah. Naima said she loved that song too. Y'all know. Uchi Wally went. Uchi Wally went. I was somewhere, and it was somewhere unexpected where that song just like came on and popped up, and I wouldn't even have known that this audience knew Uchi Wally, and people were up out of their seats. When it comes to those type of rappers, and when I say those type, I mean like the female type of rappers. Guy, I've never been a ride for Little Kim, except for when she and Nicki Minaj were going back and forth, because I do believe she's right in that. Nicki stole her whole image from Little Kim, and just pay some respect. Like, we could pay some respect and you keep it moving. But you can't do that. A lot of women sang the mess out of that song and perform her. Yeah. But yeah, Lil Kim is not one of my favorites when it comes to the women, the females of rap. I definitely am going to place in higher in higher priorities somebody like Foxy Brown. I've enjoyed Foxy Brown's albums. I had 2 of Foxy Brown's albums. I've only had 1 Little Kim album. I had Hardcore, and that was it. But and Foxy Brown is someone that I literally saw her career. He's not, and those antennas are crazy. I've seen Foxy Brown's lyricism and her craft progress. Didn't see that. Yeah, Foxy had bars, absolutely. But I didn't see that with Little Kim. I saw her get more popular, and I saw, but I do always appreciate when I think about it how Little Kim definitely held her own in her trial, and much respect that she just much respect that she really she approached that and she played that like an incredible like an incredible cancer woman that she is. You know, just info. I love Foxy Brown first album. I like the first I liked it wasn't her first one. Well, her first one was okay, but the one that was my favorite was the one with Falling on it. Falling on it. It was actually in the middle of her breakup with Corrupt. So a lot of this came out of her music and her songs. It was amazing. It was the album before she actually lost her hearing. So yes, Miss Inga Marchand. That is Shirley Foxy. That is who she be.
You know what?
But Nikki is definitely very, very talented. I wish Nikki wasn't so bent on just the promiscuity and the playing up of her image because she's a beautiful woman, and I think that she would have still had a lot of success without over sexualizing herself. And I hate that she kind of had walked away from that a bit when she got married, and now she's back on the foolishness with this whole, you know, I think it's her just trying to keep up with the young girls that are coming out now. And instead of trying to be like a person of just influence, it's true. But y'all know who my main girl is right now is Doja. I loves me some Doja Cat. Some Doja Cats. I think.
Is it wrong for me not to look for any of these female rappers?
Yeah, we've had this discussion before. I definitely feel like it is. Yeah. Nikki is back on the pole. Thank you, Iron. Yeah. I don't know if she was ever on the pole per se, but yeah, she's back in the club, in the strip club. She is. You know, that beats in the crap was crap.
Let me ask you this,
and she's back making that type of music.
Because I heard DMX say something once. Yeah. I thought he was right. They asked him about female rappers. He said, "Nah, don't call them female rappers. If they rappers, they rappers. If they got balls, this, that, and the other." No, he just went down line. He's like, "Nah, I don't give the female man. If you're a rapper, you're a rapper. You're a lyricist, you're a lyricist." And my thing is this: is there a female rapper that you would put in the top 25?
Yeah.
Who?
I still think Foxy Brown.
Foxy?
Yeah, I still think Foxy Brown would be in the top 25. Absolutely. And I definitely feel like she, you know, not only is she there, but she's going to hold her own. Maybe top 20. That's pushing it. Maybe top 20, but definitely top 25.
So you telling me now? I'm talking all the time. You telling me that you can't name 25 rappers that's better than Foxy?
I think Foxy is going to hold her own. I've seen Foxy in ciphers. That's what I mean. I don't think they're better than her because I think in all of these angles, she's going to still hold her own. I've seen her in ciphers. I've seen her off top, off dome. You know, I've seen her perform. I've seen her. I've seen her, like I say, take her craft and progress it. Because I want to be very honest. Like when you talk about 2025, it's like just in general, like when it comes to rappers, in a whole, like that list gets very loose after 5 for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I've told you this a number of times. Like I'm not a big, like I like hip hop, but I'm not a hip hop head. I'm not gonna ever pretend to be that. You know, I like who I like, and I stick to that. So my list may get very questionable after 5. You know, so because like I said, Kanye is in my top 10, and do I think Foxy is a better rapper than Kanye? Absolutely. Yeah.
No, I don't even like Kanye. Man.
Yeah, I think Foxy's better. Foxy's cadence is very good. Yeah, absolutely. Roxanne Shante is my number 1 female battle rapper. Okay, guys. Guy, I'm not even reading over your comment about no British Nikes and MC Hammer. And let me tell you, MC Hammer.
I had some British Nikes though.
MC Hammer, not for nothing though. MC Hammer got busy, and MC Hammer got busy, and still does get a lot of respect from people that underestimated not only his business acumen but also his physical. his physical
Hammer got active though.
Yeah, that's what I said. He got busy.
Hammer got active.
You think she's better than the female rappers from back in the days? Who are you talking about? Roxanne or Roxanne or Foxy Naima? What are you talking about? Do you think she's better than the female rappers?
And I don't know if Roxanne Shante could hold her own against the in a battle with these chicks now. Though I don't know. She might kind of fall right around with Melly Mel for.
You know who I liked a lot until she started. She's making some real kind of just very sexual, but weird gangster sexy music. It's weird music now, but Akbar from Atlanta, before she got, you know, her surgery and she slimmed down and all, and so now she's you know, just bragging about, because before she was like, yeah, really pretty face and, you know, maybe big, but they still gonna grip, and it's like, okay, cool. Like she was kind of like what you would expect when if Lizzo was a rapper, but now she's slimmed down and her music has gotten just, I think, just tasteless and, you know, sexual, tasteless and sexual. Do I think she's better than the female rappers from back in the day? Foxy. Um, and see, and like I said again, I'm not gonna, you know, when it comes to hip hop and when it comes to that regard, there's not too many female rappers that I am like. When I was in Philly, there were some female rappers that were popular there. And they were just popular there, but they were good. They were good. And I did some work for some. One of them being Paper Doll. Did some work for her. Did some work for Bird to Banks. It was a female duo. Even like Salt and Pepper, like I never thought Salt and Pepper were hot. I never thought they were hot. Push It, I couldn't believe that Push It was played on the radio. I remember just being in fourth grade, like I can't believe they playing this song on the radio. Like, Daddy, isn't this nasty? Isn't this nasty song? You know, you know, and it's like, you know, we used to be, you know, of course, dancing to it and all, but I didn't like What a Man. I didn't like Push It. I didn't like Let's Talk About Sex. These songs sucked. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I just didn't think they were good songs. And y'all know I'm from Florida, so Trina, The Baddest. Never thought that was good. I thought that first album was horrible, even before I found out it was written by a man. It was written by Rick Ross. Just disgusting, you know. I make him eat me in the with my period on, with his kids at home upstairs. Like, who write this? This and that a man wrote this, you know. So with women, I've always expected for their lyrics to be more kind of. I expected their lyrics to be better. You know, I didn't expect from them what I expected from men. Look how the name Janelle Monáe has fallen. I agree. She has gone from touting her skills when she came out to now just mess, pansexual, boobies out after coming from a Christian home. Push it real good. Thank you, Guy. I listen to some rap music, but not that much. Yeah, Foxy is nice, but she is not my top 10. Okay, Guy. Yeah, she's not my top 10, but like I said, she's my top 20. Definitely my top 25. But like I said again, I'm not gonna get caught up on conversations a lot about, you know, no. Like I tell people all the time, I like who I like. I like who I like, and I'm gonna ride for who I like. I like Lil Wayne. I like Kanye. I love Nas. I like Andre 3000. You know, I respect LL. You know, these are my top five. And then after that, you know, like I said, I like Kanye. I like Kanye a lot. There are songs that you undeniable couldn't miss, and my son had to enlighten me that Kanye has like some songs that are like in his top three that I've literally never heard. I've never heard of these songs, but these are the most downloaded songs of his. You know, songs that I've never even heard. Um, no, actually, they're. I think he's a Cardi B fan. They're from the same part of the Bronx. Yeah, you know the lyrics. Push it real good. Yeah, I knew the lyrics. I knew the lyrics. Yeah, you know, I knew them. I don't care.
Yeah,
I never follow them too much.
I'm not a fan of any female rapper. The only one who would probably even come close to say that I like is probably Remy.
Remy is good.
And I think
Remy is great.
Like Foxy's alright. I mean, I'm like yo, I'm not. There's not one female rapper that I'm looking for. Like, oh, yo, she dropped me. Like, I don't care.
I think that definitely is unfortunate that
Yo, I haven't heard one album from a female rapper that I'm gonna play twice. Like the whole album, I haven't heard one. And I I kind of I like Remy and like
Remy is
the
nice.
album
Yeah.
is trash though.
Yeah.
The album is trash. Sorry, it's trash.
I thought There's Something About Remy was good. A good album. That was with the
Like
Neo
What's
song.
had balls. What's the cheap name that was running around with Bus?
You know, Rod Digger.
Rod Digger. Rod Digger was nice, but she didn't have the right machine run. Like Rod Digger was probably Remy before Remy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
she went, she can go, but again, like this is not like there's not a female rap out there that be like, yo.
So you think Eve not holding her own?
Against who?
And like against whoever. Like
no,
you know.
No.
Who would you think you put Eve up against?
Female or just period?
Period. Like her same type of style, you know. She
like in the battle.
Eve is a freestyler.
Like
she's
Rod Digger would destroy her. Remy destroy her.
Destroy Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talking about a battle, right?
Yeah, we talking about battle.
Yeah. Yeah, like Eve. Eve.
I used to like Heather B. But I know that was because she was on, I knew her from Real World, the first Real World. MC Light, absolutely. Amazing. But MC Light, the reason why I think MC Light appeals to me because she's just aged very well. She's aged so well. But at the time, like, I didn't aspire to be like not really. I didn't aspire to be like MC Light. Growing up, I wasn't like, yeah, this is what I want to like. Like, I never did the whole, even with me liking Jordans and the jerseys, I never liked seeing women with the whole, like, those track suits and stuff. That didn't make sense to me.
Light was like 17 though.
It don't matter. I just didn't like seeing that. I like seeing girls like girls.
When Light came out, when that
I like seeing women like I was used to seeing women like Whitney Houston. That's the way I thought women were supposed to be looking, growing up. So
that's weird,
in dresses, that's super weird.
I wanted to kill it.
Why? Because its antennas are so long.
Yeah.
You can't want to just kill things just because they're different. It's not cool. Yo-yo. You can't play with my yo-yo. Beautiful, but that's all I knew was just you can't play with my yo-yo. And I knew her acting later on. I knew she was in Panther, and I knew that she was actually very, very revolutionary. Queen Latifah, I never.
Queen Latifah had one album that was halfway decent.
I just never really. I always thought of her as being an actress. That's great, but and her remix on "I Want to Be Down," that new version.
Like Latifah, listen, Queen Latifah.
But her talk show wasn't great.
She was
I loved her and Set It Off. I just liked her as
because she was so
I said Lady of Rage. Yeah, like Lady of Rage, the Brat, all of these people.
Trash.
No,
they all trash.
No, the Brat especially. Like I never did that. Talk the Five was good though, but that other song she did about that's how we like, and then I just always thought she was definitely. I always thought she was gay, and I just felt like she was just wasting a lot of she was wasting a lot of TV time. She was wasting a lot of people's TV time. Like you're not even trying to do that. We know you wear BBDs.
Boss wasn't bad though. Boss was like a whole dude though.
Oh, you said something about Young Ma, right? I think it fell.
Nah, he crawled. He walked.
What's her name? Is Young Ma or Young MIA? Young Ma,
Young
right?
MA. Yeah. Yeah, she a whole dude.
Yeah.
But I know, but Young MA got some stuff though. She got some stuff. But like I said, she's like a whole dude though. So I'm like chicks like that is. But Young MA is another one that she'll dismantle Eve. Like it wouldn't even be fair.
That may be true. Like I said, Eve wasn't. I just offered her because I know that she's battle tested. I know that she does battle. I know she ciphers and like that's how she come up.
Yeah,
So
but she ain't like even like Nikki. Like when you hear early Nikki
yeah.
from them what the tapes called? Oh man, like early Nikki before she hooked up with Wayne and them.
Yeah.
Like she had balls. Like she was battling. Like she was eating jokers. So like Nikki, she just managed Eve. Like Eve, I can't see Eve. Eve might not even be top 10 as far as females.
Maybe not. You know when I realized how low, how just insignificant Eve was when they put her on verses with Trina. Like, there's no way
She had a versus.
she had a versus with Trina, and I was like, there's no way. Like, because if anything, that
Eve
made
don't even
Trina
Eve,
look better than
yeah.
because there's
Eve,
no
first of all, Eve
way.
don't even have enough material for four verses.
Yeah, she was on versus.
I don't even think I even know 10 Eve songs. Yeah, they set out with that bullshit. I don't even know why
Yeah,
she did
and
that.
I'm just like, yeah, and to have them Hurricane. I don't know nothing about Hurricane. Hurricane's from the South, though, right? She was like, Mama Mia was good
Who?
with from No Limit. Mama Mia.
Come on, my ex.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. My ex, look at my ex from No Limit.
Also, yeah, my ex.
I thought it was Mama Mia.
Mama Mia. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know her.
It's the youngest Mama Mia. Maybe that's what she just referred to herself as. Maybe it wasn't an ex, but yeah, she was No Limit. And then she went. She had her own label by herself. Y'all, I really did like Jackie O. I really did like Jackie O, and I follow her after after her hosting with Slip and Slide. But yeah, like most of these rappers, it was just like short lived. It was just like it was like boop and short lived. That's why when I look at people like Foxy Brown and I say, no matter what, she stayed committed to, um, she stayed committed to her progress as an artist. I respected that and her craft. She didn't just start, like, oh, I'm slipping in popularity. Let me just take on more clothes. Let me put out a sex tape. She didn't take that route. She didn't take that route. Yeah. So you never heard of Hurricane G? Yeah, I have, but I don't. I don't know. I don't know her material. Like I said, I think that she's from the South, but I just don't know her material. I think she's like the one that just passed away, Gangsta Boo, right? She's like something like that. It's like from the South or West. How you gonna speak a little bit like that? Wrong.
Wait, so it's wrong. If they was trash, they was trash.
Come on.
There's a bunch of dead rappers that they was trash.
You don't have to be speaking a little bit.
How am I speaking ill to them? Speaking
You
the
are.
truth.
I'm about to get out here.
Like
Oh, Hurricane G is from Brooklyn. He said.
From Brooklyn.
Yeah, I thought she was from down south. I must be thinking of somebody else. Maybe thinking of somebody else. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is Mia X. It is Mia X. Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard.
That's what she refers to herself as.
I never heard. Well, I never
Yeah.
heard that name.
Well, and we had one of her albums.
So I think I only know. I've only heard maybe about 3 songs.
It's just funny to me, and I will say this, and we got to get going. But it's funny to me how like these rappers, men, women, whatever, they'll be like, yeah, I'm just, I really started taking this seriously, and they'll be like 5 months ago. They'll be like, yeah, I really started taking this real serious, and I'm always laughing when I think about that because, like, these are the ones that you'll see in like these little local publications and all, and they'll be like, yeah, I just started taking this, I really started digging in and taking this all seriously, and it'd be like, 6-7 months ago, like last year, and I'm like, you talking about there's people in the game for 20, 30 years, and this is their craft, and this is how they've studied, and this is how they've come about, and this is how they have this is what they this is something that they're creating a contribution to the uh the map of hip hop, the tapestry. And these people will say, with all seriousness, I just started this like 4 or 5 months ago, and you know, I s- I should be, I'm like ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it all. Yeah, they ready to be they ready to be on they ready to be on.
Oh,
So it's
I'm
I
yawning.
think that it does take away
We gotta
from
go.
the seriousness of what hip hop does to our culture, to our communities. It does take away from that when someone that has just been on for a few months, less than a year, can wholeheartedly say that they're ready to like run the game, you know. And that goes from all the Glorillas, the um uh who are some new ones
I
out?
don't know.
The Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla. There's somebody that I'm thinking of that just is escaping. Like I can see the foolishness that they rapping, but I just cannot. And it's like that 10 years ago we would have heard some of these songs and just been like, we would have laughed at them. But the fact that now they can be taken seriously and they get ushered out on these planes and stacks on stacks, it's very weird, and it's just sad that only in our culture do we allow this. And hip hop is so influential, but we allow this in our culture. So I think we got to start looking at things differently, y'all. But that is it for our daily dose tonight. Like hubby said, it's getting late, but it's almost Friday. I am so excited about Friday. Yes, have a lot of confirmed pickups for some food
How many?
tomorrow. Um, 5, and that's 8 dinners. Yeah, the gatekeepers allow this. That's true. That's true. They promote it and allow it. All right, y'all. If y'all have not, please make sure you visit p4r.today. And also email us if you have any questions
Oh,
about anything from the site. If you want to plan a trip, come on down to visit. And y'all definitely make sure you make plans if you can for the Labor Day weekend, because we are doing our camp out cookout that weekend. You can camp or you can just come to the cookout that Saturday. We're gonna have some vendors here. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a good time. So come on out and enjoy villaging with us in Athens, GA. Until next time, y'all know what to do.